Those of you who have played Rocket League for a while now might remember the Twinzer. It arrived along with Salty Shores in the summer of 2018. It was one of the first truly hyped up cars in a long history of so-called Octane killers. Cars that would mix things up a bit and bring some variation to an increasingly homogeneous pro scene. Those of you who pay attention to the RLCS might notice a distinct lack of this battle car. In a way, that makes it the dark mirror version of the Fennec, a crate car that never really found its place in the spotlight. But why did the Twinzer fail where the Fennec did not? As already mentioned, the Twinzer joined Rocket League as part of the crate system in May of 2018. Being from the Salty Shores launch, it's very much based off a dune buggy. It shares a very similar form to the Octane, clearly taking a lot of design inspiration from it. The whole chassis is further back, with almost every part of the car having its own unique twist. It is undeniably designed to complement the Octane, however. Being an Octane hitbox and looking like one too, it very much plays exactly like you would expect it to. Which, if you care more about car design than most things, is quite a good thing, I suppose. Even if you've never even touched this car before, you're likely aware of the Twinzer is OP videos from its launch. It was quite a large one at the time, as it was very Octane-like and could have potentially been a real rival to the Octane. So even though every car has been called overpowered at some point, there could have been a hint of truth to this one. Unfortunately, as time went on, it became fairly evident that the Twinzer would not be hanging around for long, and had seemingly zero impact on the competitive scene at large. But wait a minute, we have another car that has almost the exact same backstory as the Twinzer, the Fennec. And that car is now one of the most popular cars in the game. They both came out of the crate system, they're both Octanes, so technically they perform the same. So what gives? Well, to figure out why the Twinzer failed, we may need to look at things a little more logically. Here we have, essentially, a slightly different looking Octane that you have to pay to get. So the question is really, why would you not just use the Octane? If you're already used to this car and have been using it for years, why would you risk swapping to something that largely looks and feels the same to use? It has the same issue that the Octane ZSR has, in that it's a nice change aesthetically, but it's one step further away from being in players' hands, and doesn't really change how it feels to use. These cars are also noisier than their predecessor, which, in the very clean driven aesthetic that the game promotes, runs contrary to what players want and expect. It doesn't mix things up enough, which is exactly what the Fennec does successfully. The Fennec has an entirely different form that completely changes how it feels to use, despite things being mechanically identical once you strip everything away. Not only that, it changes things in a way that pro players clearly like, keeping things simple and clean on top of the form of the car. For the Twinzer, there's not a significant gameplay difference to justify a swap, particularly across the entire scene. And in the end, that leaves the Twinzer to be quite a niche player choice. Is it forever out of the pro scene? Very likely. If it had viability in that department, we would have seen evidence of that by now. And so, it's likely forever stuck being a car you see every now and then in your ranked queues. I do admit that I quite liked using the Twinzer for this video. Out of all of the Octane cars, it just felt the best to me. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.